Hello, everyone. Do you mind putting your headphones on and giving me a reassuring nod that you can hear me, which you don't need to do, to be honest with you, because it's all good. And what I'll do is I'll do some sort of opening announcements as a few more people come in, which mostly consist of thank yous, right? Because this show doesn't happen without the generous support that we get off people like ICC Birmingham, West Midlands Convention Bureau, and real big shout out to Lighthouse Events, who just make everything work really nicely, and they're one of those AV providers that just give you warm hugs of security, and that just makes everything work really, really well. Also, I forgot to mention it in one of the opening sessions the other day, earlier this morning, which is we're using captions today, which has been quite a lot of fun actually, because out of the lead show, one of the things we majored on was this idea of accessibility. So we've got captions on at the moment as a bit of an AI, and at the moment captions has become the metaphor for everything that's good about AI and everything that's bad. And Vanessa won't mind me mentioning, but she's from the FT and it came up as STD, which is my favourite thing of the day, and she was very annoyed because she's got really good elocution as Vanessa, but it just showed that sometimes you need some human beings in there as well. Human beings and AI is kind of the theme of today. One of the things I was saying earlier is like a lot of people wanted to come to the education and talk about AI. But what we really wanted to do was do it in our way as CHS. There's some people having amazing conversations. Vanessa and Felicia were just on, none more than those two in their own events. So when we were asked to do it, we just wanted to make sure we do it in a CHS way, which is personality and feeling and never forgetting our humanity. And I hope you like what we're doing at the moment. To underline that, one of the things we thought we'd do is have a bit of two things. One was we'd have a bit of a debate about AI and humanity. How do the two work together? But the other thing we wanted to do is actually get some voices in that are sort of, well, certainly younger than mine, and sort of that represent kind of the future of the events industry and how younger people, students, volunteers, first year in the world, kind of think about this technology. And I'm so delighted so many of you guys have come to hear. They're not. They'd much rather you weren't here at all and they were doing it in their own time. So, but I'm so glad you care enough to listen to what they've got to say. So thank you so much for that. What we're going to do is we're going to make them feel really welcome by applauding as we introduce Rebecca and Philippa, who are going to come to the stage, and we're going to give them massive, massive applause. Because let's face it, when someone asks you, can you come and do a debate on stage at CHS when you've never spoken before, that's quite a big yes to offer. So guys, thank you so much. Honestly, you're so brave and so wonderful, and I'm sure you'll be brilliant. We've called it a debate, but it's not. It's a discussion. Debate's just to bring the crowd in. There's going to be no arguing. There's going to be no fisticuffs. They're nice people, but it's going to be a discussion, and hopefully we all get something out of it. Now, the way it will work with, I've got my timer. The guys will give a 2-minute argument each. Then I'm going to do a bit of cross-examination. They're going to do a bit of cross-examination as well. And then they'll ask to do 2 minutes to close each. What we're then going to do is sort of open it up to you guys, if that's okay. So ask them what they think, or ask questions, ask each other questions, make points, and do that sort of thing. So if that's all right with you guys, it'd be great if you're a part of it as well. We tossed a coin, and it was Philippa that came first.
Yeah.
Right. So, and Philippa.
Pippa.
Can you, first of all, you need to tell us which side of the argument you're on.
Yep.
And then you're going to nod to me, and I'm going to do a 2-minute thing on here, which has disappeared, but it's fine. I'm going to give a 2-minute, and we're going to get going. All right. So, Pippa, you start.
Absolutely.
I'll start the section when you go nod.
Okay. Hi everyone, thank you for coming. My name is Pippa, and I'm going to be representing the human side of the debate today. Kind of in my view, I think events are all about human connection. I mean, it's the reason we all go to events. It's the reason that we're here today. And for me, it was a big part of the reason why I chose to study events management at university. So I do think it's a really, really important element. In my opinion, I think a lot of what makes a great event kind of stems from some uniquely human strengths that AI just can't replicate. I've got a couple of kind of examples of this, but I think The main thing is, I think, a great event is one that surprises and delights attendees, not one that follows a really strict kind of pattern as such. It's all about that innovation. And I think as much as AI is a tool for idea generation, it's something that looks at the past, whereas it's still humans that really feed into what's going to happen next in the industry. If we want to organise a great event, we need to really think about our attendees, what they need from us. And for that, I mean, we need empathy, we need intuition. This is all really, really human stuff. It's the heart stuff. And I know it sounds a bit smushy, but it is really important. A great event professional can sense when your attendees are getting a little bit fidgety, a little bit bored, if they're stressed, if they're inspired. And I think it's something that we need to be really in tune to is those emotions, and we can adapt. It's something that AI just can't do, is that ability to kind of pivot under pressure. We all know that things don't always work out in events. Things don't always go to plan. So that's, it's a really fundamental part of it. Of course, as I say, we do want our events to run as smoothly as possible, but ultimately it's not just about efficiency, it's about emotion. Humans may make mistakes, but we also make magic. So, yeah, that's my opening statement.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes on the nod.
That's it.
Round of applause to hang on. Sorry, I'm just pausing my thing. That was brilliant. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So, Becca, why don't you do a very brief introduction to yourself and then nod at me and I'll press the button.
Okay, fab. Hi everyone, not welcome for coming, thank you for coming. I'm Becca, I'm a second year events management student at Leeds Beckett University, and I will be taking the side of AI in this debate.
Fantastic.
Ready when you are.
Go for it.
Okay, so as I said, my name's Rebecca, and as an events management student, I've seen firsthand just how fast our industry is changing. And one thing is for sure, is that AI isn't just helping events, it's transforming them. For decades, event organisers have faced the same two problems, time and money. And now, thanks to AI, those barriers are being broken. AI delivers faster planning, smarter decisions, and smoother delivery. It's no longer just a tool, it's an essential part of modern event management. The easiest way to understand AI's impact on events is through what I call the 3 A's: augmentation, automation, and accessibility. So let's start with the first A, augmentation. AI enhances creativity and precision. It personalizes every aspect of an event, from tailored agendas to perfectly targeted marketing campaigns. It designs visuals, generates promotional videos, creates interactive entertainment, and interactive entertainment through gamification. Virtual assistants guide attendees through events, build live agendas, and answer questions instantly. No delays, no errors, just efficiency. The behind the scenes is where automation comes in. AI can handle the entire operational side of your events. It builds schedules, tracks RSVPs, manages budgets, analyzes audience data, and sources the best suppliers. This level of speed and accuracy was simply impossible before AI, and tasks that used to take hours now take seconds, meaning higher productivity and lower costs across the board. And then finally, accessibility. AI has made events more inclusive than ever, with real-time translation, automated captions, and speak-to-text transcription, ensuring that every attendee, in person or virtual, can engage equally. AI can even analyze crowd movement patterns to optimize event layouts, improving safety and flow instantly. The truth is that AI isn't a risk, it's an opportunity, and the only thing holding us back is us. With the resistance to change and a lack of training, we are the problems, not the technology itself. I feel that AI is the powerhouse which is driving our industry forward, and those of us who are going to embrace it will lead the next generation of event innovation. Because AI doesn't just improve how we run events, it redefines what's possible.
Beautiful. Rebecca, thank you so much. A round of applause for Rebecca. That was absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. Now, just to have a bit of a breather, and I'm going to ask Pippa a question. So I want to ask you, honestly, how much technology did you use when you were thinking about how you'd go about this argument, and how much have you considered AI as part of your argument for human, as a good thing?
You've caught me out there. Yeah, I think to say that we don't use AI in our everyday lives would just be completely wrong. Both of our points were probably, we have a bit of a think, and then we all kind of put things into AI and get the most out of our ideas. But I think for me, what it's about is that it's not necessarily a case of AI versus human. I think it's a case of humans who adopt AI and humans who don't. It is, as Becca says, it's going to be a really key part of the future of the events industry, really.
And do you use it in your daily life? Are you using it all the time as a human?
All the time. All the time.
Do you like it?
I love it. I think so. I've recently graduated, I should have said, so I'm a bit of a fraud. I'm here as I've actually fallen into a marketing role. I'm not traditionally a marketer, and I'm kind of the only person doing what I do in my company. So for me, I've been using AI lots as kind of to upskill myself in a way to really learn things quite quickly when I've not got the support of a human. So my co-pilot chat history is just extensive at the moment. I love it.
Brilliant. And Becca, I was going to ask you a question if that's okay as well. So tell me again, what was interesting about your argument is how human it was. And I was just wondering whether that dawned on you at all, whether, essentially you were talking about AI in a very specifically human, warm, you talked about accessibility. Did that dawn on you as you were doing your research?
Not really, but I suppose it is one of those, I don't ever think that AI is going to take over the events industry because it's a people thing, events. We're all here as people, we're not here as robots. And I suppose, it's always going to be a human element to events, even with AI's help.
Fantastic. And are you looking forward to being, I think I said to you first, I said, because you're kind of representing the AI sort of future thing. Are you looking forward to that future? Are you I wonder what it was like before then, or I would have preferred to be the old school, or are you looking forward to, when you finish and you come into this events industry, are you pleased that it's a bit more AI enabled?
Honestly, it makes things a lot easier and more accessible to a lot of people. So throughout my degree, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, but ChatGPT is something that so many of us use, especially when trying to find sources and stuff, and it just makes the whole process so much quicker than it would be, which the quicker we can do things, the more quickly events can be turned around and brought out, which is something which everyone wants to do. You want to be able to bring the events out as quick as you can and at the best standard.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, we're going to go on to our next bit, which is, I'm allowing 2 minutes, but you can take as long or as short as you like, which is really just to cross-examine each other, basically. And if Pippa, again, it's okay if I start with you.
Yeah, of course.
Whether you've got any questions for Rebecca or any points of your own or anything like that. And I'm going to hit the timer, but you do what you need to do, yeah?
Yeah. I'll be honest, I do think, as we talk, I think it gets harder and harder because I do find myself leaning a little bit more on that side, which probably isn't what I should say. But no, I don't think... Honestly, I think you've made some really great points there.
Thank you.
So I think not much of a cross-examination from me. I think if I was being really, really cynical about things, perhaps, I think there's possibly this misconception that using AI means that you're kind of lazy, and it is, it makes things really a lot quicker and things, and I don't think that's necessarily the angle that we want to push. I think it's more about we're freeing up time here. What can we do with that extra time? It's not, so you're off the hook, AI can do this now. It's, let's do what we can do best. Let AI do the administrative stuff, and we can focus on building those relationships, connecting with people. So I think, it's just about how we use it, I think.
That's lovely. Thanks so much, Pippa. That was a really good point. And again, Rebecca, do you have any sort of points based on Pippa's arguments or any cross-examination? You can be mean to her now because she's basically gone first. It's fine.
I have got a few. Okay,
yeah, go on.
So
Give us some questions.
In terms of events mainly being based on trust and emotion, obviously that's something that I agree with completely. However, feelings can be really unreliable, and it's something that AI doesn't have, and it doesn't need that constant reassurance to do a good job and to not make mistakes. It's always consistent and accurate and provides 24/7 support. It's not something that ever sleeps, and so you've always got access to it. And I'm not saying that efficiency is the opposite of emotion, because it's not, but it's the foundation that allows events to actually succeed. And then in terms of the human connection being the heartbeat of events. 100% agree, but AI can strengthen this. Like you said before, with AI doing the logistics side of things, it allows you to have that time to connect with everyone who's at your event and work on the side of things that really are helpful for humans to do. And then with humans being able to adapt and improvise in chaos comes from human error in the first place a lot of the time. And because AI doesn't panic, it doesn't make emotional decisions, and it doesn't miss details, with it processing data in real time, it can predict the problems often before they even happen. And obviously pivoting under pressure is extremely impressive, but being able to prevent the pressure in the first place is arguably better. That's all I've got to say.
I mean, brilliant. Pippa, I don't know if you got anything to react to that one. I mean, again, really interesting points there. Yeah, and then again, you don't have to.
No, I think I don't know. The only thing I don't agree with there would be the 24/7 support thing. I think it's personal preference. I think it comes down to really knowing your attendees at your events. Because I think for me, I'd rather, have a window where I can access a human than 24-hour access to a robot. But I think it's a demographic thing, and maybe I'm talking like a marketer now. But knowing your audience is going to be key to making those decisions and the extent to which you're integrating AI.
Fantastic. Yeah, great shouts. Thank you both, honestly. Are you ready to make your closing arguments, or would you like me to go into the audience and have a break? Are you going to do closing arguments?
Ooh.
Okay.
Breather, I think.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I wonder whether anyone has got... I'm just conscious I'm throwing a lot of these guys, right? Has anyone got any points to make based on what they're saying? I want points, not just questions. Give them a breather. Let them listen for a bit. Good old Emma.
I'm Emma, founder of CHS Birmingham. And I want to say, ladies, great job. I could not have done that in my 20s and sat in front of my peer group and done what you two have just done. And I read a quote a few days ago that said, "Don't fear that AI will take your jobs. Fear that people who know how to use AI, they're the ones that will take your jobs." And you two are the future of this industry. And I just want to give you that reassurance that it's a great job, and we should not be worried that you're going to come along with all your AI skills and knock us out of the water. So yeah, well done.
Yeah, well done, Emma. Has anyone else got any points as well, and in terms of what some of the guys have been saying as well? Cool. You do get to ask a question. Oh yeah, go on. Sorry. I'm going to come swinging over.
I just want to mention a point that was said in the session before from this lady over here, that with the use of AI, are you now losing that personal creativity in events where, I think it was Vanessa who was saying that you all had to produce something via AI and it was all very much the same. So do you feel you're losing that creativity when AI is going to produce very similar things?
Oh, that's a good question. I suppose maybe my own personal creativity a little bit. However, I think AI can be a very useful tool in it because it can draw from such global experiences. It can pull all the data so you can see what sort of the trends at the moment, what are the best venues to be using and all of that, and make your event out of what AI can pull from it. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, I think I kind of mentioned this. My only concern is that it does pull from such a wide range of sources, but it's past sources. It's not the future. So by all means, I think it's a great tool for idea generation. I certainly use it that way. But I think, you're never going to get the best idea out of ChatGPT because if it's there, it's because it's done before. So it is a worry. I think the other thing to think about when you're using AI for idea generation is that you need to contextualize it. You get some great stuff thrown at you, but it's only only you know your attendees, unless you're feeding all of that into AI, which again you could do. I think it's getting into these good practices of how is the best way to use AI as a tool. But it's only as good, what you get out of it is only as good as what you put in. So you need to be feeding in everything that you've got about who the event is for and what kind of the purpose of the event is.
Thank you. Has anyone else got anything to add to that? You don't have to. It's absolutely fine. No, brilliant. Well, look, I just have a breathe in, then I'm going to ask you to do some closing arguments. I will set the timer for 2 minutes, but you really don't need to. I'm conscious that we've said a lot here. I mean, I would echo Emma's point as well. It's just so nice to hear people talking eloquently about it from your own specific point of views as well. Yeah, we spoke on the phone a couple of times about sort of like how we're going to go about it, and we sort of said we'd probably just end up agreeing with each other. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to agree with each other, because the reality is, as is written behind you, it's kind of you and AI. And I think the last 2 sessions have sort of said that the more we treat AI as this sort of digital secretary, digital assistant, intern is a pretty good way to go. Shall I pick on you, Becca, to finish off? Now, I'm going to set 2 minutes, but I want to get your closing arguments, and then we'll move on to Pippa afterwards, okay? So as long as you need.
Okay, fab. So obviously today we've heard a lot of fears that AI lacks emotion, creativity, and human connection. But the truth is, as we've said, AI isn't replacing events, it's more redefining them. And the events industry has always been about innovation and creating unforgettable experiences, and AI is simply the next most powerful step in that evolution. It's not just helping planners, it's revolutionising how events are imagined, built, and delivered. AI, it doesn't sleep, it doesn't panic, and it doesn't miss details. It analyses data faster than any human team, predicts problems before they happen, and ensures flawless execution. What humans call improvising under chaos, AI calls real-time optimization, preventing chaos before it happens. Through augmentation, it fuels creativity. Through automation, it manages logistics. And through accessibility, it opens doors. Now, you may have noticed something today. I haven't really made a single note about what Pip has been saying during this debate, but every point that she made during her argument, I had a response ready. And it's because I used AI to predict what she's going to say and help me prepare how to counter that. So if you're still questioning whether AI works, you've just seen it in action. The future of events isn't a choice, as we said, between humans and AI, it's a partnership. And for people like me entering this industry, it's a chance to work smarter, create bigger, and deliver better than ever before. So let's stop fearing what's ahead and start embracing it, because AI isn't the end of events management. It's the upgrade our industry and the next generation have been waiting for. Thank you.
Round of applause. Very, very good. Very, very good. Becca, thank you so much. You can now relax, have some water and all that sort of stuff. Pippa, again, I'm going to set the clock for 2 minutes, and you do what you need to do and take as long as you need, all right? But Pippa,
Perfect.
go.
Thank
2
you.
minutes.
Yeah, as I say, I think we very much met in the middle here. I think I'd quite like to chat a little bit about my career and how I think it'll kind of benefit me in the future, because it is something that we do need to embrace. I think the thing I know we say about us young folks, we know what we're doing, but I think, I don't know about you, Becca, but I think for me, definitely, it is still something that I'm learning myself. I completely understand the apprehension that people have about it, and I think it is just building that trust with AI, which sounds really bizarre, but it is something we need to build a relationship with as if it were a human, let's say. And just experiment. I think don't be afraid to try things. And if you think, oh, actually, I prefer doing it the old school way, that's okay. I think it's just learning about ways that we can work better, and we're all going to work differently. We've all got different ways of doing things, so it's just finding tools that work for you and adopting them where you want to. I would say for the idea generation side of things, I very much agree that for kind of creating mood boards and turning an idea that you have in your head into something tangible really quickly, it's absolutely fantastic. Even from kind of like venue mock-ups or layouts and things like that, you can get it right like that. But I don't think you'll ever replace that feeling of being in a room with like-minded individuals, or not like-minded individuals, and hashing it out and coming up with some really great ideas. I don't think AI is ever going to be that, but it is, as I say, in my line of work, it's great because I am sort of a one-man band at the moment, so I've not got someone to bounce ideas off of. So I love using it in that way. But don't get me wrong, I would choose having a team in a heartbeat. I would choose that. So yeah, it's a great tool. But I don't know, I like the smushy feeling that side of things. Yeah, I think I'm just being completely transparent here. I think I'm quite a quality-driven individual, and I think the thing that always worries me with AI is it going to do as good a job as I would do if I did it myself? And I feel this need to then check it, and you do have to be careful with it sometimes, I think. But I think it is just that case of learning and building trust and seeing what works and what doesn't. So by no means are we the experts. I think it's something that it will take years for it to be integrated in the industry. But yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting, the opportunities that lie ahead. I think the way that I sort of look at it is not only making event planning faster, but making it more fun. There's nothing better than like seeing that mood board or seeing that venue mock-up and thinking, oh great, that's my idea, and it's there, rather than just spending hours on things like that. And like the administrative stuff, does anyone enjoy it? I don't know. Maybe there's some weird types out there that do, but it'll be great. And as I say, it's a case of using that time a bit better. I actually think Becca's touched on everything I was going to mention.
Perfect.
Yeah, all good. All good.
Well done, team. And I emphasise on team because you've both given us a lot. A round of applause for Philippa for that last point. Pippa, thank you so much. Sorry.
You're in trouble for that.
Sorry. And it's recorded as well. Guys, thank you. And I mean it, seriously. Really, really good discussion. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And again, if there's any other points that people want to make, just really interested in those. Again, you don't have to. We'll give you the time back. All is well. But if there's any other points that people want to make, we're absolutely up for that as well. Bro, one for the gentleman here.
Yeah, I just want to echo what Emma said. I think your arguments are brilliantly put forward. I tend to side more with Pippa. I think the human brain is limitless, whereas I think AI has limits because it learns from humans. It learns from the past. And so I think in terms of creativity, I think you're right. I think in terms of administration and efficiency, you're right.
Bro, any other last closing points as well? Again, we don't have to. Right, well, let me do my advertisements. We'll say a big thank you to these guys in just a second. But just so you know, next up, we've got 10 hacks in 20 minutes with Neil from the Delegate Wranglers and the lovely Lisa Rowland as well. That's at 12:10. And then we're going to redo our town hall thing again, where we're going to try and sort of boost it and start asking and answering some sort of serious questions around AI as well. And for those that aren't completely freaked out by that, we're doing a whole session called The Scary Bit, which is at 2:45 as well. That's when we're going to go into the legalities and what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do, what should we be scared of, what shouldn't we be scared of. So for those that just need to kind of walk out of here feeling a little bit more sane, that's good therapy as well. And then we're going to wrap it all up at the end of the day. But thanks so much for supporting these guys, and thanks so much for what you did for these guys as well. It means a lot, and it's such a lovely thing to see so many people being supportive of it. It means a great deal to us, and I'm glad it's worked for you. But we should leave these guys with a huge round of applause because they've been epic. Thank you. Have a good show, everyone. We'll see you in a bit.